A young millionaire, a famous architect named Liam. He woke up early, preparing for the important day ahead. Carefully choosing an elegant suit, he dressed meticulously, aware of how crucial the meeting in the nearby city would be. Before departing, he called the man he was scheduled to meet. "Good morning, Mr. Connor. I'm on my way now and should be there shortly," Liam said, confirming his plans as he made his way to the car. Just then, a torrential downpour began. The driver, well acquainted with Liam's usual route and routines, waited in the car. "Looks like we'll be dealing with some tough weather, Mr. Liam," he remarked as Liam approached. Traffic in the neighboring city was chaotic due to the heavy rain, and the car crept along slowly through the crowded streets. Watching the rain hit the windows, Liam was lost in thought about the upcoming meeting when something on the roadside caught his eye. A woman, clearly homeless, holding a newborn baby as she desperately tried to shield it from the relentless rain. The sight struck a deep chord in Liam. Without a second thought, Liam told the driver, "Please stop the car. I need to help that woman." The driver, aware of Liam's compassion, gently cautioned, "But Mr. Liam, you'll get drenched and ruin your suit. Plus, we have that meeting to get to." Liam, resolute, replied, "I don't care about the suit or being late. That woman and her baby need help right now." He opened the car door and stepped out into the pouring rain. Approaching the woman, he asked, "Can I help you? You and your baby shouldn't be out here in this weather. Do you have anywhere to go? A place to stay?" Surprised, the woman, still shielding her child from the rain, quickly answered, "No, we don't have anywhere to go," though she didn't elaborate further. Feeling a sense of urgency, Liam rushed back to the car and asked the driver to open the glove compartment. He took out a set of keys, then returned to the woman and introduced himself briefly. "What's your name?" he asked. "Ilara," she replied, clutching her daughter close. "Ilara, here is the key to my father's house. It's nearby, and he's staying with me for now, so the house is empty. You and your daughter can stay there," Liam said, extending the keys. "I have to go because I'm late for a meeting, but my driver will take you there and help with anything you need." Handing her the keys, Liam quickly got back into the car, already soaked, and told the driver, "I'll walk to the meeting. Please take Ilara and her child to my father's house just down the road. Stop at the market on the way and get whatever they might need: food, clothes, diapers." The driver, accustomed to Liam's acts of kindness, nodded promptly. "Of course, Mr. Liam. I'll take care of everything." After dropping Liam off, he returned to Ilara, who was standing in the rain with her baby. "Come with me. Don't worry, I'll take you to a safe place. Mr. Liam wants to help you and your daughter," he said kindly. But Ilara looked at him with a mix of fear and distrust. "I don't know you. I've seen things on TV. I can't just trust anyone," she said, holding her baby protectively. Understanding her hesitation, the driver tried to reassure her. "I understand. Look, I'm a father too. I've been working with Mr. Liam for years, and he's a truly kind-hearted man." To prove his sincerity, he showed her photos of his own family from his wallet. Ilara, still cautious, studied the photos and the driver's earnest expression. Reluctantly, but feeling that this could be her chance for safety, she agreed to go with him. She carefully got into the car, shielding her daughter from the rain, as the driver drove them to Liam's father's house. Along the way, they stopped at a market to buy food and baby supplies. Later that afternoon, after a long and productive meeting, Liam left the building and found his driver waiting for him. Once in the car, he immediately asked, "How did it go with Ilara and the baby?" "Did they make it safely to my father's house?" The driver replied, "Yes, Mr. Liam, but I dropped them off at the start of the street to make it easier to turn the car around." A bit surprised by the driver's decision, Liam gently said, "You should have left her at the front door, especially with the rain and the baby." After a moment of thought, he added, "But it's fine. We've all had a busy day. I'll check on them tomorrow to see if they need anything." As he looked out the car window, his mind was occupied with thoughts of Ilara and her daughter, feeling reassured that he had made the right choice to help them. On a bustling day in Boston, Liam finds himself moving through the grand hall of one of the country's most prestigious architectural events. The air is filled with sophistication and elegance, but the true purpose of the evening is rooted in charity, raising funds for affordable housing projects. Famous architects, including Liam, have donated designs to help make these plans a reality. giving the wealthy an opportunity to raise meaningful donations, although for some it is just another event to show off their status. Known for his exceptional talent, Liam is admired as much as the works he has created. Despite his success, he has always maintained a cold, distant attitude towards people. Liam was originally a warm person, but after the shock of losing his young wife in an accident, he became cold and withdrawn. He is living with his sick father. During this event, Liam met Vera, a legend in the architectural world, famous for her remarkable career and countless achievements. "Liam, it's impressive to see you here," she said, looking at him closely. "I heard that in addition to your busy work, you also spend time taking care of your father. That is truly commendable." Liam smiled politely and nodded, feeling a little out of place in an environment that he found increasingly shallow. Sensing his discomfort, Vera asked, "What really brings you here, Liam? It seems you're not here just to socialize." With a sad smile, Liam replied, "I'm here more out of obligation than desire. My life has been shaped by more than architecture. It's been shaped by deeper experiences, mostly by my father." He paused, reminiscing. "Despite all the hardships, my father always found a way to help others. He raised me alone, and every sacrifice he made was a life lesson." Vera listened intently, her admiration evident. "It's rare to find someone who holds those values, especially with the success you've achieved. Your father must have been an extraordinary man." "He really did," Liam replied, his voice full of pride. "He did everything he could to support us, from fixing things for neighbors to tutoring. He always said that a man's greatest asset was not what he owned, but what he was able to give." Nodding, Vera acknowledged the depth of his words. "That says a lot about you, Liam, and how you approach life and work. There are many people here who could learn from you." "Thank you, Vera," Liam said, smiling. "I just try to live in a way that would make my father proud. He taught me that the true architecture of life is building bridges between people and creating spaces filled with empathy and support." Vera smiled back, genuinely touched. She too came from humble beginnings and had worked her way to the top of her profession, though she kept her personal life out of the public eye, especially since she was single. After the event, Liam drove home, his father watching a late-night show. Despite his poor health, David's mind was clear and his spirits were high. "How was the event, son?" David asked, his eyes curious. "Did they raise much?" "It went well, although there are always people who think that wealth makes them invincible," Liam replied, sitting next to his father. "But it was a success. I even talked to Vera about how our work could mean something to society." David had endured countless hardships, shouldering the enormous responsibility of raising Liam alone after his mother died. Despite his financial difficulties, he prioritized Liam's education, believing that it was the path to a better life. Every penny he earned was spent on Liam's future, and Liam, in turn, seized every opportunity, growing into the famous architect he is today. Even after his success, Liam never forgot the sacrifices his father made for him and was always devoted to taking care of him with the love he received. Tomorrow, when Liam finally arrived home, he barely had time to open the door before Mrs. Rose, his father's caregiver, greeted him warmly. Upon Liam's return, Mrs. Rose had unexpected news. "Mr. Liam, your father, Mr. David, took a set of keys to his other house and went there alone after you left. He said he wanted to spend a few days there because he was feeling a bit bored and slightly better," she informed him, her tone somewhat hesitant. Liam was caught off guard. "He went by himself? But he knows he shouldn't have," Liam replied, worry evident in his voice. He was deeply concerned about his father's health and safety. "Yes, he went alone," Mrs. Rose continued, interrupting his thoughts. "He waited until you were out of town because he knew you wouldn't let him go by himself. He seemed very determined and said he felt well enough to stay there alone for a few days." The news of his father's unexpected decision to visit the house where Alara and her daughter were staying made Liam uneasy. Without delay, he instructed the driver to take him there immediately. As they sped through the streets, his worry grew stronger. When Liam arrived, he noticed the front door was open and an ambulance parked outside. His heart pounded as he saw paramedics carrying his father out on a stretcher. Overcome with fear, Liam rushed to them, desperate to understand what had happened. "I'm his son. What happened?" Liam asked, his voice trembling. The doctor looked at him calmly and explained, "Your father had a stroke. Fortunately, your wife was here and acted quickly, calling for an ambulance. She saved his life. A whirlwind of emotions flooded Liam, relief that his father was alive, gratitude that Alara had been there, and a deep fear of what could have happened. He followed the stretcher to the ambulance, determined to stay by his father's side during this critical time. After his father was safely in the hospital, Liam returned home to find Alara and her daughter. He approached Alara, still shaken by the incident, but trying to remain calm. Alara, I don't even know how to thank you for everything you've done, Liam said, a mixture of gratitude and nervousness in his tone. The doctor thought you were my wife, he added, trying to lighten the tension with a slight smile. Alara, recognizing the gravity of the situation, replied gently, There's no need to thank me, Mr. Liam. I just did what anyone would do. I happened to be in the right place at the right time. Liam noticed the modest items she had purchased, seeing that they were only basic necessities. I see you've only picked up the essentials. You could have taken more, you know. You don't have to limit yourself, he commented, concerned she might not have enough. With a mixture of gratitude and hesitation in her eyes, Alara responded, I didn't want to take advantage of your generosity. You've already done so much for us. There was a brief silence during which Liam felt a deep connection to Alara. Alara, I'd really like to learn more about you and your daughter. How did you end up in this situation? If you feel comfortable, I'd like to listen, Liam said, expressing his sincere desire to understand and help her. Alara sighed, seeming to weigh her decision before opening up. She looked at her daughter, then at Liam, and began, I never knew my mother. I grew up with a father who was more of a stranger to me. He drank heavily and barely noticed I existed. Liam listened intently, sensing the strength in her words. I wanted to study, you know, but my father wouldn't allow it. I read in secret after he'd fallen asleep, dreaming of a different future, Alara recalled, pausing as memories surfaced. As time went on, his drinking got worse. I tried to help, but it was no use. He was a harsh man and scared me most of the time. Then one day, I met someone. Her voice softened as she continued. He seemed perfect, kind. We were together for a while, and I thought I finally had a chance at a real family when I got pregnant. I was scared, but I believed we could make it work. Alara took a shaky breath, her voice filled with hurt. But as soon as he found out I was pregnant, he left. He vanished, and I never saw him again. I managed to hide the pregnancy for a while, but when my father found out, she hesitated, pain evident in her voice. He was furious. He wouldn't listen. He threw me out with nothing. Liam's voice was thick with concern. How did you manage to survive? I begged for money, lived on the streets. When my daughter was born, it was the homeless who helped me. I was scared and distrustful of everyone, but I had to be strong for her, she replied. Liam looked at Alara, seeing not only the pain and fear, but also an incredible resilience. You are unbelievably strong, Alara. Your story, it's one of immense struggle. Alara gave a sad smile. I didn't have a choice. Life hasn't been kind, but I couldn't give up. For my daughter, I'd go through it all over again. She paused, her voice choked with emotion. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. When I saw all your father's books, it felt like I'd entered paradise. I love reading, but I've never had access to so many books before, Alara said, her voice filled with wonder. Liam smiled warmly. Feel free to read as much as you'd like, Alara. These books are yours to enjoy as well. Just before leaving, Liam turned back and handed her an envelope. Here's something to help with the expenses, he said softly. Alara glanced at the envelope, noting its weight. Carefully opening it, her eyes widened at the amount inside. Liam, this is too much. I can't accept it all, she stammered, her voice trembling with emotion. Liam smiled reassuringly. Please, Alara, accept it. You need this more than I do. Use it to buy clothes, food, whatever you and your baby need. Tears filled Alara's eyes. I don't even know how to thank you. You're giving me more than help. You're giving me hope. A silence settled between them before Alara spoke again, curiosity evident in her expression. Liam, may I ask, are you married? Liam sighed, a shadow crossing his face. I was, he replied quietly. My wife, she passed away in an accident just a month after our wedding. That was 3 years ago. Alara covered her mouth in shock, sorrow touching her features. I'm so sorry, Liam. I had no idea. He shook his head gently. It's all right. It was difficult, but I've learned to live with it. The pain never truly leaves, but we find a way to move forward, don't we? Alara nodded, feeling an unexpected bond with Liam, linked by shared experiences of loss and hardship. Liam stood, picking up his keys. Well, I should get going, but please make yourself at home here. And if you need anything, anything at all, just call me. Thank you, Liam, Alara said sincerely. For everything. He nodded, a faint, sad smile on his lips. Take care, Alara. And remember, you're not alone. With that, he left, leaving Alara surrounded by a feeling of gratitude, hope, and a newfound sense that she was no longer so isolated in the world. Returning to his own home, Liam's thoughts lingered on his meeting with Alara and her story. The next day, he visited his father in the hospital. Although his father's condition was stable, he still required constant care. Sitting by the bedside, Liam shared Alara's story with him, recounting how she had called for medical help and saved Mr. David's life, as well as the challenges she had faced. Listening intently, Liam's father looked moved. You did a wonderful thing, son. Alara seems like a remarkable, brave woman, he said in a weak but proud voice. It's good to know you've grown into a man with a compassionate heart. I thank God for not abandoning me when I asked for strength to raise you alone. After a moment of contemplative silence, his father spoke again, looking thoughtful. Don't you think it would be better if Alara and her baby lived closer to us? They could stay at our house. I'd like to have more life around, and you wouldn't have to travel so much to see them. Liam considered the idea, finding it appealing. The thought of having Alara and her daughter nearby was comforting, and he knew his father would enjoy the companionship. That's a great idea, Dad. I'll discuss it with Alara. I think their presence would bring joy to our home. His father smiled, clearly excited by the prospect. It would be wonderful to have a child around. It's been so quiet when you're away working. With a new plan forming in his mind, Liam said goodbye to his father, promising to seriously consider the suggestion and talk to Alara about it. He left the hospital feeling hopeful, pondering the possibilities that lay ahead for them all. After a long day at work, exhausted but determined, Liam drove to the house where Alara was staying, intent on sharing the proposal with her. When he arrived, he found her tidying up the living room while the baby played quietly nearby. Alara, I have something important to discuss with you, Liam began as he sat down near her. Alara looked up, intrigued. What's on your mind, Liam? He took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. My house is spacious, and ever since my father fell ill, it's felt emptier. He loves reading, just like you, and I thought you could keep him company. He could even help you with your studies if you'd like. Alara seemed taken aback by the offer. You mean, live in your house? Me and my daughter? Yes, Liam confirmed. It would be wonderful to have both of you there. I think your presence could lift my father's spirits, and you'd have a safe place to stay. Plus, you'd have access to all the books you could want. Alara sat in silence, processing his offer. That would be amazing, Liam. I don't know how to thank you. It would be such a huge help for me and my daughter, and I'd love to be able to study more. Liam smiled, relieved and happy with her answer. Then it's settled. Let's make it happen. I believe this will be good for all of us. With gratitude evident on her face, Alara agreed, quickly gathering her and her daughter's things. Once they were ready, they returned to Liam's home, her heart full of hope for the opportunity to learn and create a better future. As they entered, Alara looked around in awe. Liam, your home is incredible. You truly are a talented architect, she said, admiring the space. Liam smiled, appreciating her praise. Thank you, Alara. I hope you and your daughter will feel comfortable here. In the days that followed, Alara and Mr. David grew closer. With great enthusiasm, he began introducing her to his vast collection of books, carefully picking out the ones he thought would interest her the most. One day, as he held an old favorite, he shared, "This one was always close to my heart. When she was younger, I think you'll like it," Liam said, handing Alara the book. Alara took it, flipping through its aged pages. "It looks fascinating. Thank you for sharing this with me, Mr. David, she said warmly. Noticing the special connection forming between them and Alara's dedication to his father, Liam made the decision to let go of his father's caretaker. Alara had offered to look after Mr. David whenever Liam was away, caring for him with a mix of respect and affection, and Mr. David deeply appreciated both her and her daughter's company. Alara often expressed how much she enjoyed this new chapter in her life. I really enjoy taking care of your father, Liam. He's been so kind to me and my daughter. It's the least I can do. Liam nodded in appreciation. You're already a part of this family, Alara. My father and I are so grateful to have you and your daughter here. As Alara settled into life in Liam's home, he made it a priority not only to provide a safe place for her, but also to support her financial independence. One day while they were in the kitchen, Liam brought up the topic. Alara, I've been thinking, he began. I'd like to offer you a salary. You've done an incredible job taking care of my father and the house, and I think it's important that you have your own income. Alara looked at him surprised. Liam, that's not necessary. You're already providing a home and everything my daughter and I need. I know, Liam replied, but it's important to me that you feel independent. I want you to be able to buy things for yourself and your daughter without needing to ask. Alara's eyes reflected a mixture of gratitude and melancholy as she looked at Liam. You have no idea what your words mean to me, she began, her voice trembling with emotion. For so long, my life was controlled by others, always someone telling me what I could or couldn't do, where I could go, how I should live. I was treated as if my choices didn't matter. This freedom you're offering, it's something I barely dared to dream of. Liam listened with understanding and encouragement. He leaned closer, meeting her gaze. I see your strength, Alara, and I believe in you, even more than you believe in yourself right now. You're capable of so much more than you realize, and it's time to start exploring that. This isn't just about buying things. It's about taking control of your life. Independence begins with small steps, and each choice you make is another step forward in this new journey. Alara sighed, absorbing his words. I've always been afraid, she confessed, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of choosing the wrong path. I was conditioned to believe I wasn't capable. Every choice I avoided making kept me trapped, kept me dependent. But you're right. Maybe this is how I start to feel free. Liam nodded, encouraging her to continue. Exactly, Alara. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. I'm here to support you, but the final decision will always be yours. Think of this as an opportunity to rediscover yourself, to explore what you genuinely like, what you want for your life and for your daughter. I want that. I really do, Alara replied. I want my daughter to see me as an example of strength and independence, not dependency. I want her to grow up knowing she can make her own choices without fear. Liam, thank you for believing in me. Liam smiled, pleased to see determination growing in her eyes. Then let's start with small steps. How about we set some initial goals together? Simple things like opening your own bank account or buying something you've always wanted for yourself and your daughter. Let's make each choice a step toward your complete independence. From that moment on, Alara began receiving a regular salary from Liam. For the first time in years, she felt the empowerment of financial autonomy. She could buy clothes for her daughter, pick out new books, and even save for the future without feeling dependent or needing permission. Over time, the relationship between Liam and Alara grew closer and more affectionate. Liam cherished spending time with Mila, Alara's daughter, often taking her for walks. During these moments, he would share his passion for architecture with Alara, who listened intently, absorbing every word. Alara, in turn, dedicated herself to reading the books Liam introduced her to, eager to continue learning and growing. Liam suggested that he and Alara deepen their bond, as their affection was turning into something much more profound. Alara could feel herself falling for Liam, but she kept her emotions hidden, unsure of how to move forward. One evening, Liam found himself opening up to his father. They sat together on the porch watching the sunset. When Liam finally spoke up, Dad, I think I'm falling in love with Alara. It's the first time in years I've felt this way, but I don't know what to do. With an understanding smile, his father replied, Son, life's too short for holding back. If you feel this way about Alara, you should tell her. You deserve happiness. Liam considered his father's words. Do you really think so? What if she doesn't feel the same? His father reassured him. You'll never know unless you try. And from what I've noticed, the way she looks at you speaks volumes. Inspired by his father's advice, Liam decided to open up to Alara. Nervous but hopeful, he carefully thought about how he would approach the topic, wishing with all his heart that her feelings mirrored his own. Later that evening, after putting Mila to bed, Ilara was reading in the living room when Liam joined her. His heart raced as he broke the comfortable silence with a gentle but hesitant voice. Ilara, can we talk about something important? Ilara set her book aside, looking at him attentively. Of course, Liam. What's on your mind? Liam took a deep breath, gathering his courage. Lately, I've been feeling something more for you. Something beyond friendship. You've brought light into my life and this home. I care about you and Mela more than I ever expected. Ilara's heart raced, moved and surprised by his confession. Liam, I feel something for you too. You've been wonderful to us, she replied, her voice trembling slightly. Liam took her hand, his eyes filled with sincerity. Ilara, I want to be here for you, not just as a friend, but as someone who truly cares. I want to be a part of Mila's life and care for her as if she were my own daughter. Tears welled up in Ilara's eyes, touched by his heartfelt words. That means so much to me, Liam. Mila and I, we already see you as family. From that night on, Liam and Ilara's relationship blossomed. Ilara began to accompany Liam to social and professional gatherings. People's reactions varied. Some cast judgmental glances, others whispered mean-spirited remarks, referring to Ilara as the beggar Liam took in. Despite the criticism, Liam remained steadfast by Ilara's side, making her feel secure and valued. At one such event, an elegant cocktail party at an art gallery, Mrs. Vera, a well-known figure in Liam's social circle, approached them with a polite smile. Liam, Ilara, it's nice to see you two here, she greeted, still maintaining a friendly tone. I've heard about your relationship and wanted to congratulate you. Mrs. Vera stared at Ilara, which made Ilara feel flustered, but she remained calm. Vera continued, her gaze still on Ilara. It's always refreshing to see new faces at our events. Ilara, you have a unique charm. She looked at Ilara, reminding her of her daughter, if not lost. Perhaps her daughter was like Ilara. Mrs. Vera stared at Ilara and left. Thank you, Mrs. Vera, Ilara replied politely. They continued to enjoy the event together. About 2 weeks later, Liam received an invitation to dinner at Vera's house. Both were curious and cautious. On the night of the dinner, Liam and Ilara entered Vera's elegant home, struck by the meticulous decor. Despite the beauty, Ilara sensed a chill in the atmosphere, a certain emptiness. Vera, who lived alone, welcomed them warmly and invited them to sit. Your house is wonderful, Vera, Ilara commented, though she felt the place lacked warmth. Thank you, Ilara. I put a lot of thought into every detail, Vera replied proudly. As they conversed, Vera began sharing stories, hinting at a troubled past. Sensing deeper meaning, Liam gently asked, Mrs. Vera, why did you invite us here tonight? Vera hesitated, took a deep breath, then brought out a photo album. She opened it to a picture of herself, clearly pregnant, taken years ago. Liam and Ilara studied the photo, confused. Where's the child? Liam asked. With tears in her eyes, Vera looked at Ilara. The child is you, Ilara. Both Liam and Ilara were stunned, trying to process the revelation. Ilara's voice trembled. I'm your daughter? The truth left them speechless. Liam, still trying to make sense of it, asked, How can you be so sure, Mrs. Vera? With tears streaming, Vera recounted her story. When I was young, I met your father, Ilara. He seemed decent despite his struggles with alcohol. But after you were born, he turned violent. He took you from me the day we left the hospital and vanished. Ilara, overwhelmed, asked, So the man who raised me, he took me from you? Vera nodded. Yes, he took my most precious treasure, and I spent years searching for you. Ilara asked, But why are you certain now that I'm your daughter? Vera explained, When I first saw you, I recognized a birthmark on your hand that's identical to mine. I hired an investigator who found your father. He confessed everything. He kept me hidden, always afraid of being discovered, Ilara said, understanding the depth of Vera's story. Liam looked on, amazed. This is unbelievable. Ilara, emotional, said, I never imagined something like this could happen. Vera nodded, her own eyes filled with tears. Despite everything, I arranged for your father to be taken to a care facility. He's been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Liam, still processing, asked, After all he did, you helped him? Vera sighed. Yes, he is a sick man who deserves compassion. I've spent years angry, but now seeing my daughter here, I feel nothing but joy. Ilara, touched, replied, Thank you for that, Vera. I'm still trying to understand it all, but I appreciate your compassion. After these revelations, Ilara's life changed dramatically. She began visiting Vera regularly, working to rebuild their bond. One day, as they sat on Vera's porch, Vera asked about Ilara's dreams. You've always wanted to study more, haven't you? Ilara's eyes lit up. Yes, I've dreamed of studying architecture. Vera smiled. Then it's time. Enroll in the best school, and I'll handle everything. Ilara, moved, replied, I don't know how to thank you. Vera reached out, holding her hand. After all we lost, this is the least I can do. And I want to be there for Mila too. Something I missed with you. Ilara, teary-eyed, felt a wave of joy. Thank you, Vera. Mila will love having you as her grandmother. In a tender moment, Vera confided, My greatest wish is to hear you call me Mom, but I respect that it may take time. Ilara responded, You're already doing so much, Vera. I'm sure we'll grow closer. Over time, their bond naturally deepened, and Ilara's daughter, Mila, brought warmth and laughter to Vera's house. Years passed, and Ilara finally graduated from her architecture program. At the ceremony, surrounded by friends and family, she felt immense pride. In her speech, she said, Today, I'm here not just because of my own efforts, but because of the support from special people. My husband, my father-in-law, and my beloved mother, Vera. Mom, you gave me a home, love, and the family I always dreamed of. Vera, overwhelmed, wept with joy as she heard Ilara call her Mom. After the ceremony, Vera embraced Ilara, saying, For so many years, my heart was incomplete. I always dreamed of this moment. Ilara, touched, replied, Mom, you've shown me the true meaning of family and love. I'm forever grateful. Hand in hand, they left the ceremony, hopeful for a brighter future. Their story was a testament to the strength of maternal love and resilience.